The date Prince Harry will return to the UK has been revealed, but Meghan Markle's attendance remains in doubt. A few different sources have confirmed that Meghan was banned and she'll probably never be able to come back to the UK, and this is causing some people to express strong happiness, but there's also some controversy. We're going to clarify the specifics in this video. Many sources have confirmed that Prince Harry really is going to speak at the Invictus Games 10th anniversary service that's going to be held at St. Paul's Cathedral on the 8th of May. But we've also found out that Harry is listed as a guest on the official running order, and he really is set to speak at the service. But what about his wife, Meghan Markle? Well, her name wasn't mentioned at all. An insider is claiming that nobody mentioned Meghan's name, making it seem like she couldn't have come with Harry. Although apparently Harry was hoping that it would include Meghan and their two invisible children, Archie and Lilibet. But the non existent children's attendance, well, that's still up in the air. Well, folks, what do we have here? Now, if Harry returns, I guess it's going to be tolerated. But if Meghan returns, no, I don't think so. I think everybody in the UK is going to be vocal about their feelings, and they won't be positive. And supposedly, Harry and Meghan are still trying to make peace with the royal family, the same family who they claim is racist and said all other kinds of horrible things about them, too. At the same time, Harry and Meghan refused to introduce Meghan's father to his own grandchildren, and the only thing he did wrong was try to improve his image a little bit. He was not trying to embarrass Meghan. The royal children don't need to become involved with the Sussex children because you know they're probably going to grow up to be like their parents. And I hate to say that, and I'm not trying to say anything mean about children. I know they're innocent right now, but still, with Harry and Meghan as parents, what chance do they have? Perhaps Meghan is just waiting to find out if the Games is going to offer her a clothing budget. I mean, it would be necessary, right? Another question I have, though, is why does Harry have to be there in person? I think a Zoom call would be more than sufficient, and a video call would certainly be a lot cheaper for the Invictus Games organization. Well, you know, Harry just wants to claim that attendance fee, he wants his accommodation paid for, and his travel costs too. He's probably also going to show up at Clarence House uninvited like he did before. And while he's at it, why not just drop by his lawyer's office too so he can talk about filing another frivolous lawsuit? Honestly, though, how can Harry still be considered a royal patron of Invictus? I mean, he just uses these brave injured veterans, his own former comrades in arms, by the way, as Netflix content so that he can meet the terms of his contract with Netflix, so that he can finally collect on that multi-million-dollar contract. And Meghan is only the wife of the patron, but she has to put in an appearance at the games with all her requirements met in the form of clothing, accommodation, all paid for by Invictus Foundation, all so that Meghan can flash her rictus grin for the Netflix cameras. Now, veterans, if you ask me, symbolize honor and courage and commitment. Unfortunately, though, these qualities are certainly missing in both Harry and Meghan. The Invictus Games was also started by William, Catherine, and Harry, but Harry seems to believe it was all his idea. Now, as I understand it, William put in £1 million, but so far, I don't think Harry's contributed anything. Although, of course, Meghan Markle has claimed hundreds of thousands of dollars for clothing, hotels, for private jets. So, when are we finally going to be rid of the two losers? It looks like the Invictus Games has been turned into the Harry and Meghan show, and it's a show that nobody wants to watch. Now, if you ask me, Harry's hope that the Invictus Games event would include Meghan Markle and their invisible children is one big fat lie. Harry is hoping that they will join him so that they can all enjoy the service and everyone can meet up with members of his family while they are over. This is according to a report from a source. If anybody believes this, they are as delusional as the Carparkles. If Meghan Markle and the children turn up, all right, I'll have egg all over my face, I'll be ready to eat crow, but I don't think it's going to happen. Meanwhile, one thing is clear Meghan Markle never wanted to allow the children to come with or without her. Now, that, my friends, is a fact. Right now, her excuse is probably either that she's too busy with the new company or the podcast or the website, or what about the fact that Harry couldn't get the level of security that he demanded? I mean, without adequate protection, of course, Meghan and the children cannot come. These two could be surrounded by an army with nuclear weapons, and it still wouldn't be enough for them. Nobody wants them in Britain anyway, and for Harry to even believe that William is going to meet with him is an absolute fantasy. Maybe Charles will, but he's probably too busy with other things right now. What the Invictus Committee really needs to consider is replacing Harry with another royal, somebody more respectable, and somebody who probably is going to come at a cheaper price. How about they find somebody who can put the veterans first? I mean, how about somebody who doesn't care more about what Meghan Markle is wearing than they do the veterans? If she does come, I sure do hope that the weather is horrible. I hope it's cold and rainy, as she doesn't need to scare all of us with those chicken legs. And supposedly, she's there supporting the veterans anyway. She's not supposed to be spending all the money that's supposed to go to them. So, in another development, Harry now has been splashed all across the news because he has been named in this lawsuit against P. Diddy. I don't know if Meghan's going to want to be seen anywhere with him. Really, though, neither one of them should be feeling too comfortable while Catherine is still recuperating. Who knows what kind of weird viruses are floating around in Montecito? They sure don't need to bring any of that to Britain. I still think, though, the best solution would be for Harry to do a Zoom call, and then nobody would have to put up with a fashion show from Meghan Markle. The event is supposed to focus on the veterans, not Harry and Meghan. But if she shows up, that's the only thing we're going to hear and see. Meghan Markle doesn't have anything to do with the veterans, so she can just stay home with the invisible children. She can focus on promoting her jam and coffee. And Harry, maybe he can help make the jam by stirring the pot. He's really good at that, we've noticed. Let's remember, the event for the Princess Diana Awards was only worth a video call and it was hours late. Nobody is going to care if Harry does the same thing again. And nobody's going to care if he leaves more money for the veterans because that's who this initiative is supposed to be helping. I'm guessing he is going to get the reception he deserves, though, but it probably won't be the one that he wants. It's a lot better if both of them can just stay away and let the veterans take center stage. I mean, that's a real change, I know, but it would be a change for the better. I remember in the past, Meghan Markle already said that she would never return to the UK, so okay, Meghan, please keep your word this time. We do know how she loves to lie, though, so this is probably just another one of her untruths. After having seen how they act and all the disrespect both of them have shown to the royal family, I don't think anybody in Britain could ever readily accept them back, and certainly not having a role in British public life. I think most people just can't trust them. I don't care what kind of olive branches they're trying to extend. They're still a couple of hypocrites, they're a couple of narcissists, and they're never going to change. So, are they going to stay away? Are they going to live their financially independent lives? Or is that really the problem here? They don't want to. And oh my god, stop talking about the invisible children. Why are they even mentioning them? I mean, what a horrible decision if they really were to bring those children over and include them. How can those kids, who have never even been outside apparently, never attended any official public event, they could not handle an event of that size? I mean, they couldn't deal with it. They would be absolutely terrified. And Meghan Markle, I'm sure, would be expecting them to be seen and not heard. I don't think she's going to take care of them. I don't think she's going to make sure that they're acting right. It's a ridiculous idea that the first time they're seen in public is at a huge event like that. Neglectful parenting through and through. But see, Harry and Meghan don't care about those children. They're not thinking about their feelings, even if they are real. Let's contrast that with the Wales children. Now, they have been out and about since they could walk, and so they are very used to these public royal occasions, but not Archofficial and Elizabeth. So maybe Meghan Markle needs to stay home and be a good mother for once and take care of those kids. I'm sure, though, we're going to see her doing a pat walk either in the hills somewhere or in a parking lot, and we're not going to see any sight of the children, just like what Meghan did with the coronation. Remember, she told us that she couldn't come because she was looking after them, but then she left them all weekend while she went out hiking with Marcus Anderson. And honestly, I don't think Meghan Markle has it in her to really care for those kids. She has no maternal instincts. Now, most parents rely upon these instincts to raise their children right. Meghan, though, loves leaving the children, going on these long vacations. Meghan uses a nanny to raise the kids if she has them at all, and that's just fine with Harry. But she's not going to bring the children to the UK because she's not going to risk a DNA test. Honestly, though, I don't believe that Lilibet exists. Now, I'm starting to think maybe Archofficial does, but he came from a surrogate. He certainly was not born of Meghan Markle's body. And this is something we have known the whole time. So let's just wait until May and see what happens. Maybe she's going to come, maybe she won't. The organizers for the games, though, they have got to replace Harry. And also Meghan. They need to find somebody more deserving who's not going to spend the veterans' money. Also, what is going on with the £16 million that Sunak is giving the veterans? Are they going to get a penny of it? Or maybe they're going to get 5% because that's how much they pay their charities. Now, I don't think it's in the main cathedral anyway. I think it's in one of the basement crypts. But I don't believe Meghan's going to come, and I don't believe the invisible children will come either. Now, I wouldn't put it past them trying to pull some ridiculous stunt, like maybe a high speed car chase. And if the UK gets the games in 2027, well, what is Meghan going to do? I mean, she has got to be seen. Ever since Harry absconded to the US, all he does is show up for Invictus. He hasn't given any money to veteran charities in Britain. And the money from his book, well, I don't believe he's given it to charities like he said he was going to. The two of them are a couple of grifters. They just take, take, take. And the vets need to stand up and say, no, we don't want Harry anymore. So, in conclusion, any appearance by the gruesome twosome would mean very little to the veterans. I just shared with you the main information about this incident. How do you feel about this topic? Please leave your comments below. Your support is the motivation for us to have more motivation to make more attractive videos. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you in the next videos.